What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And it's breaking news because Giuntoli has been sacked, removed, kicked to the curves, whatever you want to call it. He's gone. Elkann told him to leave and take his associates, the people he brought with him as well, with him out of the door because it's done. The Giuntoli era is actually over before it actually really started, to be honest, because maybe it feels like a long time because of the crazy things that have happened in that short time he was here, but he's gone. Juntoli has been sacked by Elkann, and we all thought this was the main thing to get the new coach. Well, that's also not the case because obviously Conte is not joining us. He's staying at Napoli. So that leaves you with the big question of what is actually going on right now. But we're going to talk about Giuntoli and what that means for the club, what it did mean for the club and what it didn't really mean for the club. Like all those things, what was positive, what was negative, all those things we're going to discuss in this video, because right now the biggest question is also what now? What is the plan? Because the early rumors and talks coming out of the club are already very confusing, and which many of those are actually also worrying for the upcoming transfer window and the season. So before we get into it, as always, hit the like button. It's the most important thing to do. Click it now, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Giuntoli already being gone. Okay, so he is gone, and I think nobody is shocked that he's gone. I'm a little bit shocked of the timing. Not that his job was on the line. I was like he's going, probably past this summer. That's what I thought, And then it was like, okay, he's actually getting sacked. Is this really, to convince Conte to join? That was not the case, That didn't happen as well. So now you're sitting you're in a situation where you sacked your sporting director. And one of the early news coming out already, the moment that happened was, well, Gatti was about to sign a deal, but that, is postponed because, well, Giuntoli is gone and he was negotiating that deal and he was pushing for that deal. And now it leaves you with so many question marks on the market. Like I said, when the Jonathan David news came out, I was like, who's negotiating these deals? It's actually Giuntoli. So the Giuntoli was actually in talks with players and the club knew that, and now they sacked him, and it leaves you in a situation where agents and players are like, what the hell is this club about? Because the transfer window is kicking off almost. You're in talks with me, trying to convince me to join your club, and now the club is removing that guy. Why would I jump into that situation? When I have other options, Jonathan David, for example. All those questions these players are going to ask are legit. When it comes to Giuntoli, has he done a fantastic job? No, absolutely not. When he came in, I was like, I will judge him past this summer. He's not even getting this summer. So that's all you need to know. The good things he did at the club is the financial situation is much, much better. So I'll give him credit for that. He signed a player like like Turam. I'll give him credit for that. Even De Gregorio with the price tag, I thought it was a good deal in the end. So I'm positive about those things, but a lot of things, not to say everything, his communication skills, when Motta was feeling the heat and the pressure were awful. The fact that Tudor went against him post game, shocking again, no control. The fact that you spent money on a player like Douglas Luiz when Motta didn't want him, and that's clear and obvious with Douglas Luiz's statements, and you spent such a big portion of the budget on it. The fact that you signed Colt Miners and Conceição and Gonzalez, but way too late. The season was kicking off already, The timing again, awful. The spending that amount of money on those players. The loan fees for players you do not own, Conceição, Colomani, selling Huijsen, and then signing Kelly for 25 million in total or whatever it is, 23. Like, a lot of ridiculous things come to mind. To start a new project, to say no to Conte past summer, say we want Motta and we believe in Motta, only when it was really tough to just sack Motta and be like, it wasn't really me, it's Motta, and allowing all these leaks coming out of the club from these players, and just letting it pile on just to take the spotlight away from your decisions. That's a horrible job you have done in a short period of time. It's just horrible. It is what it is. Do I feel sorry for him? Absolutely not. You know, these guys are well paid, so I don't need to feel sorry for these guys. But am I happy he's being sacked? No, because if I'm happy, like I cannot be happy because this is another failure for this club. This is another big setback. We need to start all over again. Somebody tweeted out, a journalist, Mirko Nicolino, saying year zero again. Like that's something positive. It's not something. How many year zeros do we need to have? It's actually insane. We're the only clubs who have a year zero every single year, basically, or every single 2 seasons. So I'm not excited about Giuntoli being sacked. I'm not happy. Was it necessary? Yeah, yeah. Is the timing okay? Absolutely not. Should have happened weeks ago, months ago, whatever, you know. Then is when it should have happened. We waited again too long. Now you're starting a new project again with new people, and they're coming in and they need to make decisions on the squad, on the coach, on players. Like it's actually insane. Usually you plan ahead, weeks, months ahead. We are planning ahead during the transfer window again. How is that positive? How can you be excited? You might be relieved that Giuntoli is gone, I guess, but happy no, because happy is something I associate with a positive situation. We're not in a positive situation. We're in a situation where we have a thousand of question marks and no answers. So I cannot really, be positive about the current situation of this club. I just can't. And I want to be. I really, really, really strongly want to be. But it's extremely difficult to be. That's just a fact, in my opinion, you know. But he's gone, and now it's just wait and see who is coming in, who's gonna get certain roles, because what's Chiellini going to? Tagnozzi's coming in, what is he going to do? Comoli's coming in, what is he going to do? So a lot of question marks. Is Canavino, Ferreira, are they going to get sacked as well? Or are they going to get, sacked but get a different role in the club as well? So there are so many question marks and not much time. And then you also have the coaching issue. Who, like, you have a lot of new people coming in. Do they want to make a decision on the coach? Do they want something new? Are they going to stick with Tudor? It's so much to think about, worry about, plan, but there's not much time. That is the thing. These things should have been done months ago. So now the new season is about to kick off, with preseason, and you're set. You have a plan, you have an idea, and you keep it moving. But we didn't do that. We're doing it all on the fly yet again. And that is worrying because other teams have a massive head start. Napoli, they are ahead, miles ahead already. Inter, even though Inzaghi might leave, might not leave, the structure is still there. Milan have a coach already. We don't even have a coach for certain at this moment in time. Anyways, he's gone, Giuntoli. Short time, and I don't think he will be remembered with positivity by anyone, I think, and certain deals will get discussed for years to come. 100% certain about that, but it's done. Elkann pulled the trigger, and now he's going to pull a few other triggers, but right now, and not right now, the last couple of years, he's just missing. He's missing he's missing the target. And like he's Jesus Christ. Like, the fact that we need to change so much in the boardroom over so many seasons already, basically every single season we're changing something, is not positive. That means there's no stability, no plan, and no real belief. And now we start all over again, and you just need to pray that finally they hit. And it's gonna work, Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think about Giuntoli getting sacked. What would you remember of him? What is your biggest takeaway? And we will talk very soon. Ciao.